Americans eat 20 billion hot dogs every year. That's roughly 70 per person. On July 4th alone, we put away 150 million of them. They're served in 95% of American homes. Retail sales alone exceed $3 billion annually. And in 2015, the World Health Organization assembled 22 international experts, reviewed over 800 studies, and classified processed meat, including hot dogs, as a Group 1 carcinogen. Same category as cigarettes and asbestos. Eating one hot dog a day increases your colorectal cancer risk by 18%. The WHO estimates 34,000 cancer deaths per year globally are attributable to diets high in processed meat. But here's the thing nobody talks about. Not all hot dogs are created equal. Some of these brands are stuffed with bone-crushed meat paste, corn syrup, and ingredients that have triggered massive recalls, hospitalizations, and actual deaths. In 2015, Clear Labs tested 345 hot dogs from 75 brands and found that 14.4% were problematic, containing substituted or undeclared ingredients. They even found human DNA in 2% of samples, likely from hair, skin, or saliva. A hygiene issue, not a horror movie, but still not exactly appetizing. These are the 10 worst hot dog brands in America. And at the end, I'll show you the 4 brands that are actually safe to eat. Number 10, Hebrew National Hebrew. National has built their entire brand on one idea: we answer to a higher authority. The implication is clear: these hot dogs are held to a standard above everyone else. You're paying premium prices because you trust that kosher certification means something better. Walk through any grocery store, and Hebrew National is consistently one of the most expensive hot dog brands on the shelf. But in May 2012, 11 plaintiffs filed a lawsuit against Conagra, Hebrew National's parent company, alleging the products were not actually 100% kosher beef as advertised. Witnesses at the contracted slaughtering firm reported procedures that rendered the meat non-kosher, a quota system that forced through a specified percentage as kosher regardless of actual compliance, and workers who were fired for complaining about it. Now here's the part that matters. The case was dismissed, but not because the allegations were proven false. It was dismissed on jurisdictional grounds. The court ruled it couldn't adjudicate religious questions. The factual claims were never proven or disproven in court, so the allegations just hang there, unresolved. Despite that premium pricing, Hebrew National still uses sodium nitrite, hydrolyzed soy protein, which functions like MSG by containing free glutamic acid, and an undisclosed flavoring that tells you absolutely nothing. Sodium runs around 500 milligrams per franc, which is a third of the Institute of Medicine's recommended daily amount in a single hot dog. The Environmental Working Group classified Hebrew National as an unhealthy ultra-processed food. But Hebrew National is just the beginning, because the next brand on this list has a pattern that's far more alarming. Number 9, Johnsonville. Johnsonville markets itself as premium, 100% premium cuts of pork. The packaging looks clean, the branding feels trustworthy. They're one of the top-selling sausage brands in the country, but Johnsonville has had 3 separate recalls for foreign object contamination in less than 7 years, all involving plastic. April 2025, 22,672 pounds of cheddar bratwurst recalled across 10 states for hard plastic contamination. June 2023, 42,062 pounds of sausage links recalled for black plastic fibers embedded in the product. And March 2018, nearly 110,000 pounds of smoked pork sausage recalled for what the USDA called extraneous materials. 3 times in 7 years isn't bad luck. That's a pattern. That's a quality control system that keeps failing at the same thing. And these are just the incidents severe enough to trigger a federal recall. It doesn't account for what made it through undetected. And despite all that premium branding, flip the package over and you'll still find corn syrup, sugar, and sodium nitrite on the ingredient list. The sodium content ranges from 430 to 560 milligrams per serving, depending on the variety. However, plastic in your bratwurst is one thing. The next brand on this list is owned by a company with a scandal that should concern every American consumer. Number 8, Smithfield. Smithfield is one of the biggest names in American pork. They control roughly 26% of all U.S. pork production. But since 2013, Smithfield has been owned by WH Group, a Chinese conglomerate formerly known as Shuanghui International. The acquisition cost $7.1 billion, including debt, making it the largest Chinese purchase of an American company at the time. Now here's why that matters. In 2011, WH Group's Chinese subsidiary, Shuanghui, got caught processing pigs contaminated with clenbuterol, a banned fat-burning drug that causes heart palpitations, muscle tremors, nausea, and can be fatal. Over 2,000 tons of pork products were recalled. 29 people were detained. The ringleader received a suspended death sentence, and all 18 of Shuanghui's internal inspection procedures failed to catch it. Senator Debbie Stabenow warned at the time that food security is national security and that American consumers wouldn't feel comfortable knowing half their food processors could end up owned by foreign entities. The hot dogs themselves contain corn syrup, modified food starch, dextrose, and sodium nitrite. But the bigger concern is that Smithfield also owns Armour, Gwaltney, Eckrich, and as of January 2026, Nathan's Famous. 3 of those brands appear later on this list. And speaking of those brands, the next one is the budget barrel bottom of the entire hot dog market. Number 7, Gwaltney hot dogs cost around $2 for an 8-pack, and you get exactly what you pay for. First ingredient, mechanically separated chicken, that bone-crushed paste we talked about earlier, then water, then corn syrup, then modified food starch as filler, then sodium nitrite. The whole thing is encased in beef collagen casing, which sounds fancier than it is. Registered dietitian Jesse Hulsey described MSM chicken as a process that mechanically removes meat from bones, resulting in a product that may contain high levels of fat, skin, and connective tissue, raising concerns about quality, nutritional value, and overall health impact. Tasting Table ranked Gwaltney the single worst grocery store hot dog brand in America, calling it Bologna-esque and only redeemable when drowned in condiments. The Environmental Working Group flagged it as an unhealthy, ultra-processed food. Remember, Gwaltney is owned by Smithfield, which is owned by WH Group out of China. Same parent company, same concerns. At about 410 milligrams of sodium per franc, the nutrition profile isn't as extreme as some brands on this list, but that's about the only thing going for it. But if Gwaltney is bad, the next brand takes cheap ingredients to an entirely different level. Number 6, Armour hot dogs have 19 ingredients. 19. For what should be a simple meat product. First ingredient, mechanically separated chicken paste. Beef is buried in the 2% or less section alongside the preservatives. Let that register. The beef in this beef and pork hot dog is in the same quantity category as the chemical preservatives. And here's what makes Armour uniquely bad. This hot dog contains 4 different sweeteners in a single franc. Corn syrup, dextrose, regular sugar, and sorbitol. 4 sweeteners in a hot dog. It also contains hydrolyzed soy protein, which functions like MSG by containing free glutamic acid, plus modified food starch as filler, sodium nitrite, and 550 milligrams of sodium per franc. That's one of the highest sodium counts on this entire list. But the ingredients aren't even the scariest part. Armour has had 2 recalls in consecutive years. May 2017, nearly 91,000 pounds of sausage recalled for metal contamination. April 2018, over 32,000 pounds of dried beef recalled for possible staphylococcal enterotoxin and clostridial toxin contamination. Those are dangerous bacterial toxins produced by a processing deviation, meaning something went wrong during manufacturing and nobody caught it before the product shipped. Also owned by Smithfield, also owned by WH Group. Now the next brand is one you'll recognize if you've ever been to New York City, and its recall history involves something you definitely don't want to bite into. Number 5, Nathan's Famous. Nathan's Famous is an American icon. The Coney Island hot dog eating contest on July 4th is practically a national tradition, but the product itself tells a different story. A standard Nathan's Frank has around 460 milligrams of sodium, But order the quarter-pound Frank and you're looking at 1,180 milligrams. That's nearly half your entire daily sodium limit in a single hot dog. The foot-long, 1,330 milligrams. The ingredient list includes hydrolyzed corn protein, which functions as a hidden MSG-like flavor enhancer, along with sodium nitrite and sorbitol. In 2017, Nathan's manufacturer, John Morrell, recalled over 210,000 pounds of hot dogs after 3 consumers found metal objects in their packages. And that same year, Nathan's products were also caught up in another massive recall we'll get to in a moment. Because the company that was producing Nathan's private label Franks was about to trigger one of the largest hot dog recalls in American history. Oh, and one more thing. As of January 2026, Smithfield Foods agreed to acquire Nathan's Famous for $450 million. So another iconic American brand, now under WH Group's umbrella. Every year, Nathan's promotes a competitive eating contest where people speed eat a product the World Health Organization classifies as a Group 1 carcinogen on live television. Health organizations have drawn criticism about that for years, but this next brand's recall makes metal fragments look minor. Number 4. Sabrett Tea. If you've ever bought a hot dog from a street vendor in New York, you've probably eaten a Sabrett. They're the classic New York dirty water dog. Blue and yellow umbrella, been around for decades. They claim a 90-year history of assuring safety. In July 2017, Sabrett's manufacturer, Marathon Enterprises, recalled over 7.1 million pounds of beef and pork hot dogs. One of the largest hot dog recalls in U.S. history. The reason? Bone fragments and cartilage embedded in the products. The USDA traced it to an equipment installation issue at their Bronx facility. But here's what's really alarming. The contaminated products had been shipping for nearly 4 months, from March 17th all the way through July 4th, before anyone caught it. Think about how many hot dogs get sold between March and the 4th of July. At least one consumer suffered a confirmed oral injury. And the recall didn't just affect Sabrett. Products were also sold under the Western Beef, Stu Leonard's, and Papaya labels, plus institutional sales for Nathan's private label and Katz's Delicatessen. So if you ate at any of those places between March and July 2017, you may have been chewing on bone fragments. 4 months of bone fragments getting through quality control at a company that boasts about 90 years of safety. That's not a one-time mistake. That's a systemic failure that went undetected for an entire season. And the brands ahead of Sabrett on this list, they managed to be even worse, starting with one that actually killed people. Number 3, Ballpark Franks are everywhere. They're owned by Tyson Foods now, one of the largest meat producers on the planet. The commercials are fun, the branding is family-friendly, and they have a body count. In 1998, when Ballpark was produced under Sara Lee's Bilmar Foods division, nearly 15 million pounds of processed meats were recalled after a Listeria monocytogenes outbreak. At least 15 people died. Over 100 were sickened. 6 women suffered miscarriages. When investigators examined the facility, they found it contaminated with old meat debris and roach infestation. Sara Lee pleaded guilty to federal criminal charges. And even after a $25 million facility renovation, Ballpark Franks were recalled again in March 2000. Another 34,500 pounds pulled for Listeria contamination. 2 years and $25 million later, and the same problem. Today, Ballpark Franks contain corn syrup, sodium nitrite, and 0.5 grams of trans fat per serving. The prime uncured beef Franks hit 710 milligrams of sodium per Frank, nearly a third of your entire daily limit. But here's something most consumers have no idea about. Ballpark runs 2 different ingredient formulations. The retail version sold in grocery stores uses celery juice powder for that clean label marketing. But the food service version sold to restaurants and stadiums still lists straight sodium nitrite. So the Ballpark Frank you eat at the ball game is literally a different product than the one you buy at the store. Same brand, different ingredients, and they don't tell you, but we're not done yet. Number 2 has a reputation Americans have trusted for generations, and its ingredients tell a completely different story. Number 2, Oscar Mayer. Oscar Mayer is probably the first hot dog brand most Americans think of. The Wienermobile, the jingle. It's been in refrigerators for over a century. Owned by Kraft Heinz, one of the biggest food companies on earth. And the packaging says, in big bold letters, no fillers or byproducts. Now, flip it over and read the actual ingredient list. The first ingredient, mechanically separated chicken. The second ingredient, mechanically separated turkey. That bone-crushed paste we talked about at the top of this video is the #1 and #2 ingredient. The very first thing you eat in every bite is meat paste that was squeezed through a sieve from leftover bones. How does a product whose primary ingredients are mechanically separated meat paste claim no fillers or byproducts? Because technically, under current USDA labeling rules, MSM doesn't count as a byproduct or filler. It's classified as meat, even though it's made by crushing bones through a sieve. The labeling loophole lets them make a claim that is technically legal but completely misleading. In 2017, Oscar Mayer removed added nitrites and replaced them with cultured celery juice. They marketed it like a health upgrade. But retired Oscar Mayer scientist Andrew Milkowski publicly acknowledged that celery juice serves the exact same function as sodium nitrite. Harvard researchers confirmed the nitrite content was comparable. So even the improvement is marketing. The third ingredient, corn syrup in a hot dog. And at the bottom of the list, a single word, flavor. Not flavors, not natural flavors, just flavor. Singular and completely unspecified. Each 45-gram wiener packs up to 461 milligrams of sodium and 14 grams of fat. The Environmental Working Group flagged it for moderate processing concerns and noted the sodium alone hits 28% of the Institute of Medicine's recommended daily adequate intake. Oscar Mayer is the most bought hot dog in America, and its first two ingredients are meat paste. But there's one brand that's worse, the absolute bottom of the barrel, and it might be the one sitting in your fridge right now because of the price. #1, Bar S, the worst hot dog in America. Bar S is the cheapest hot dog on almost every grocery store shelf, often under $2 a pack. Owned by Sigma Alimentos, a Mexican conglomerate, and there's a reason it costs that little. First ingredient, mechanically separated chicken, then water, then pork, then dextrose, which is a sugar, then modified cornstarch as filler, then salt, and in the less than 2% section, you'll find beef. The actual beef content of this hot dog is less than 2%, buried alongside the preservatives. It also contains 2 added sugars, dextrose and corn syrup. Modified cornstarch filler, sodium nitrite. The Red Frank's variety adds red 40 artificial dye, which has been linked to hyperactivity in children. And the smoked sausage contains pork hearts, which are organ meat byproducts. But the ingredients are only half the story. In 2016, Bar S recalled 372,684 pounds of chicken and pork hot dogs due to Listeria contamination. And the USDA didn't mince words. They cited recurring Listeria species issues at the firm, not an isolated incident, a pattern recurring. Contamination at their Altus, Oklahoma facility. The Environmental Working Group classified Bar S as an unhealthy ultra-processed food with high processing concerns. This is a hot dog where the primary ingredient is chicken bone paste, the beef content is less than 2%, there's more corn syrup than actual beef. The dye is linked to behavioral issues in kids, and the USDA documented a pattern of Listeria contamination at the plant. That's the #1 worst hot dog in America, and it's in millions of refrigerators right now. But before you swear off hot dogs forever, there are brands doing it right, and the difference is night and day. Quick warning, Boar's Head. Before we get to the safe brands, one more name you need to know, Boar's Head. They're primarily deli meats, but their Jarrett, Virginia plant also produced hot dogs, hams, bologna, and franks. Between May and November 2024, that single facility caused the largest U.S. Listeria outbreak since 2011. 61 people infected across 19 states, 60 hospitalized, 10 dead. USDA inspectors had documented 69 instances of non-compliance in the year before the outbreak. Black mold, blood pooling on floors, Flies going in and out of pickle vats, ants, beetles, cockroaches, heavy meat buildup on walls, pallet jacks traveling freely between raw and ready-to-eat processing areas with no barriers. Food safety attorney Bill Marler called the conditions the worst he's seen in 3 decades. Boar's Head permanently closed the facility in September 2024. The lesson? Even brands with premium reputations and strong marketing can harbor catastrophic failures behind closed doors. The label is not enough. You have to know what's actually going on. And these next 4 brands are the ones that actually let you see. All right, after all of that, you deserve some good news. These are 4 brands that dietitians and nutritionists consistently recommend. Short ingredient lists, real meat, transparent sourcing, and none of the garbage we just spent 25 minutes talking about. Number 4, true story, foods ingredients, organic beef, organic spices, organic flavorings. That's basically it. No fillers, no artificial anything, no chemical preservatives. Certified organic, non-GMO, grass-fed beef. Registered dietitian Mary Sabat calls them a smart balance of clean ingredients and good taste. And at 360 milligrams of sodium per link, they have the lowest sodium of any brand we reviewed, around $7 to $9 for a pack. Number 3, Organic Prairie by Organic Valley. Only 7 total ingredients. Part of the Organic Valley Farmer Cooperative, one of the most trusted names in organic food. USDA organic, 100% pasture-raised, non-GMO, gluten-free. No antibiotics, no growth hormones, no fillers. 370 milligrams of sodium, which is lower than most conventional brands. Nutrition expert Masha Davis recommends them specifically because of the high-quality grass-fed beef. Number 2, Teton Waters Ranch ranked the #1 hot dog by Eat This, Not That. 100% grass-fed and grass-finished beef, certified humane, Whole30 approved, no soy, no added sugar, no fillers. Dietitian Valerie Ageman says they're free of fillers, nitrates, nitrites, and added sugars, and calls them super juicy. Founded on a ranch in Teton Valley, Idaho. Available at Whole Foods, Kroger, and Costco, around $7 to $8 a pack. Number 1, Applegate Farms Organic. This is the gold standard, and here's why. Applegate is the only brand that discloses every single spice inside their spices listing. Cayenne pepper, coriander, ginger, mace, paprika, white pepper, all spelled out. That level of transparency is virtually unheard of in the hot dog industry. USDA organic, non-GMO, project verified, certified humane, 100% grass-fed, and certified regeneratively sourced, meaning the farms actively restore soil health and biodiversity. No antibiotics ever, no animal byproducts in feed. Dietitian Amy Shapiro recommends them for using antibiotic-free beef and pork with no preservatives, just natural spices and herbs. Around $7 to $9 for a pack. Roughly $3 to $5 more than a pack of bars. That's the price difference between bone-crushed chicken paste with recurring listeria issues and regeneratively sourced grass-fed beef with full ingredient transparency. Now, one honest caveat, even Applegate uses celery powder, which contains natural nitrites. And even the cleanest hot dog is still processed meat. Dietitian Violetta Morris puts it simply, even cleaner organic hot dogs are still processed meats. Enjoying them occasionally is fine, but moderation is key. The difference is that these 4 brands prove you don't need 19 ingredients, MSM paste, or corn syrup to make a hot dog. You just have to be willing to pay for transparency. So that's it. 10 brands to stop buying, 4 brands worth the extra few dollars, and the truth about what's actually inside the most popular food in America. Quick recap of what all 4 safe brands share. Short ingredient list with 5 to 10 items instead of 15 to 20. 100% grass-fed beef, not mechanically separated paste. Certified humane animal welfare standards. No artificial preservatives, colors, or flavors. No corn syrup, modified food starch, or fillers. No hydrolyzed proteins acting as hidden MSG. And transparent sourcing you can actually verify. If this changed how you think about what's in your grocery cart, You should see what we found when we investigated the biggest cereal brands. That video is on screen now. And if you made it to the end, subscribe. We break down what's really in your food every single week